What's going on, guys? Matt here once again, representing Chaos Art. I'm here today to continue on with the After Effects series. This is the 5th video in the series so far. In this one, I'm going to be mixing it up a little bit, and I'm going to be teaching you how to make a short video that I made. And within that, you will be learning a little bit about keyframes. You'll be learning about gradients, a little bit more with like the ramps and resizing, doing all kinds of crazy colored levels, curves, all these different effects, and definitely some really key things you're going to need to know whenever you're trying to work with After Effects. This is going to be the first little project. I'll be continuing with little other projects to help continue on with teaching you different things without just teaching you one thing every tutorial, because that gets really old, right? So if you check in the description, there is a download link to MediaFire, where it is the media that you will be needing for this video that I am playing right about now. Alright, so the video should be done now. And if it is, you might want to go back and rewatch it, because that's what you'll be making. And I know it's very simple, it's very quick, and what you should be downloading right now would be the particle background that was in that video. I have downloaded these particles from Video Copilot. They have provided them to me for free because it was an old download they had on their website and it's not up anymore to my knowledge. But definitely check out Video Copilot. I'm just going to kind of throw them in there because they're awesome with tutorials. Also, they can teach you a lot of stuff. And I actually reference them myself. But to continue on, now you have the particle background, and now you know what you're going to be making. So let's go ahead and get started. What you're going to do is open up your After Effects and go to Composition, New Composition, name it Main Comp. Alright, and after that, you want to make a composition, New Composition, and name it Background. Background. And these are my dimensions and everything right here. Width 1920 by 1080. Square pixels, frame rate 29.97, resolution full, and then I want to make mine 30 seconds. And I'm going to go back to my main comp and resize my length of my video. Go to composition, composition settings, and where it says 06 is now 30. So now that we have this, what you want to do by start off is import your particle background that you choose of your own, whichever one you want. It does not really matter which one you use. Some of them kind of flow better than others, but hey, just look at them, mess around a little bit, see what you like. I'm going to go to Import, File, and looky here, my particles just came up. I'm going to use particle 8. Particle underscore 8. And I'm just going to click that, drag it onto my media, kind of center that up if I can. Tile action safe is always good for that. See if I can get it exact. There we go. Nope. That's better. Alright, and I'm just going to kind of stretch it up. Doesn't really matter for this because we're not going to be really focusing on the resolution of it because the background doesn't matter. It will just be black and white whenever we get done. So now that you have a background, you can kind of just play it through and see what it looks like, see if you like it. Of course, stretching it's not the best technique. It is something that you just got to do sometimes. So if yours does look really, really, really bad, preferably get a smaller screen resolution for it, just so it's not so large and you don't have to worry about stretching it so far. But this is rendered a little bit, so let's go back and watch it. I'm going to do RAM preview if I wanted, but you know, it doesn't matter. Looks good to me. I like it so far. This one is about, what's that, 16, 17 seconds? Just about 17. That's looking good. And of course, 17 seconds is not as long as my composition right here. So what I want to do is copy this and extend it. How you do that is by coming over to your project panel, right clicking, and go to interpret footage. What this is going to do is basically put it on a loop. And you can make that loop how long you want. You can do all kinds of different things with it. But for this, I'm just going to extend it so it restarts at the end of the first section. So just go to interpret main. That is my composition that it is referring to. And main options and then color management. But we're not going to worry about color management at the moment. Main options, frame rate, I'm just going to keep the 23.976 FPS. And then use source timecode at 000. Yes. So that is the very end. And then separate fields, off. Remove, pull down, off. And yes, leave that alone. Other options. Pixel aspect ratio. I like to keep mine on square pixels. You can always change this if you would like. I prefer not to, just so I can make sure that my footage is exactly the same on the interpreted as it was the original. So I don't really have to worry about, oh gosh, which one did I choose? I'm just going to leave mine at square pixels. It works good for me. And this is mainly where you're going to be working with right here is the loop times. Mine is on one loop, so that would just extend it one extra time. I could extend it to 100 loops, and that would be ridiculous, because that would be like, what, almost 200 seconds or something like that? Something crazy. It's like 20 minutes, who knows? But I'm going to leave mine on one loop. If your composition is longer than mine, you might want to do 2. Or if the pixel or the particle background is like 10 seconds, you might want to do 3 loops. So once you're done, just press enter. And it didn't work. It's weird. Let's try this one more time. So right click, interpret footage, main, yes. There we go. I made a mistake there. Having it on 1 actually only lets it play through once. That was my mistake. So you can always just go back and fix it like I just demonstrated. You want to do 2 or more. So 2 is 2 times this film length, 3 is 3 times, 4 4 times. I don't know how I forgot that. I did it a couple nights ago, and it's just been a long day. It's early in the morning. So as you can see, not perfect, make mistakes, but now you know. And what you do is you can see that your video file here is longer. You have this lighter colored bar here. And what that allows you to do is extend your footage to the very end, and even farther if my composition was longer. But now you can see that it just continues on and on and on and on. So it's looking good. Looks good so far. So now you have a background that lasts the entire length of your composition. What you want to do now is change your background to something a little bit darker. And we do that by having your layer selected. Under your effects and controls, have that panel up. Come over here to effects and presets and type in curves. This is just like Photoshop curves, very useful for changing color and contrast within your video and or image. And just drag it over to your media. And right now, nothing happened because you are not changing your curves whatsoever. So with this, you want to change the brightness and darkness of your curves, and then we will be changing the color. So what I'm going to do is make sure it's on RGB, that is red, green, blue. And I do not want to change these just yet. I just want to kind of grab it towards the center and bring it down a little bit. So as you can see, the farther that you bring it down, if I brought it down that far, you can't see anything. But if you bring it down just far enough, it takes out that little bit of background there, and the particles still show up. So basically what we just did here is enhance the whites and took out the grays and blacks. And as you can see, it's rendering very slow, I'm recording at the moment. But as you can see, that the whites really pop against the black background. And you really need to play with this to get it just right how you would like it. But the closer to black contrast with white that you can get, the better it'll be. So I'm going to leave this for now. And it looks really good. You can see, especially right here, the whites and the blacks are really pop a lot more. And so now that you have your curves done for the black contrast to white, you're going to want to do color. So with this color, you need to go to red, and this is going to be our fire. So the fire background is kind of like orange and bright reds. It's very like sparky look to it. And I'm just going to increase my red hue. So by picking this up, it'll give you a little bit more red. And you can always play with it and take it in different directions and see the difference in it. Try to keep mine towards the top. You can see it's a little bit more red. And then let's get a green and see what we can do with that. That's purple. You don't want purple. So picking it up, that's too green for me. See what blue does. That's what I'm looking for. Orange. Bright, bright orange right there. There we go. So now you have the bright orange, and it's a very bright orangish yellow color. It kind of tints your background a little bit more, where it was black before, and now it's a little bit of like a weird brownish orange color. But that's alright. It's still very bright contrast with your particles in the air. So, and then you can always go back to your RGB and make it slightly darker if you need to. Ooh, a little bit too dark. Or too light. Just about there. Looks good. And sweet. So now that you have the orange particles in your background and you have the particle files on your computer, we can continue on. But for now, I'm going to end this tutorial, and I'll pick up later. And in the next tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to do the color change of your curves, and then I'll be teaching you also how to do the effects on the text. So thank you for watching, guys, and thank you for all your support. I hope this really helps you out, and let me know what you think about giving these sort of examples. Let me know if you like them, if they help you out to be more interactive with it. But once again, thank you for watching.